Hello everybody and welcome to this Verbaling class. My name is Teacher Amy and today's class is part of my series called Around the World in 80 Days. Today we're going to be looking at the place where the Hunger Games was filmed in North America. So if you're a fan of the Hunger Games, you might want to follow along. I do believe that all the slots are booked, but you never know. There may be a student who doesn't turn up and then you can come and join us. So if you'd like to practice your reading, have a chat to us about the Hunger Games and also the kind of general topic of tourists visiting places where films are set. Are you one of the types of person who likes to watch a movie and then go and visit where it was filmed? Or do you think that it's a waste of time and money? So do come along in and join us. I'll let you know about a couple of things that could help you with your experience here on Verbaling. You might want to check out these two pages that I am pasting into the chat box. The first is my Verbaling Teacher Facebook page, and the second is my Verbaling Teacher page. So if you go to the first link, you'll find probably what you expect for when you go to a Facebook page. It's a good idea maybe if you like Facebook to follow a few of the teachers, and then you'll receive their news updates in your feed and you can keep on track with your studies as you go through your week. Especially if you check Facebook a lot, maybe you'll be reminded to study your English. And the other page that might be useful to you is the Verbaling Teacher page. So if you access the Verbaling Teacher page, you can find out lots of information about teachers that you may not know. If you go there, you will see several important things. One of them is the calendar, so you can see when upcoming classes are, and you can book a private tutoring session. So if you're interested in a one-on-one tutoring session with any of the teachers, go to their teacher page and check out when they're free, and you can book straight from there. You can also find out more about the teacher, who they are, where they're from, what they do, how much experience they've had, and what kind of things they specialize in. And also watch some videos from that teacher. And the final thing that's quite useful is the fact that you can send a message to any of us from the Verbaling Teacher page if you have any further questions, or if you want to get in touch with us for any reason, then do please check that out. So let's say hello and see who we've got to talk about the Hunger Games today. I think Ali was here first, so hello Ali.
Hello, Amy. How are you?
How are you? Jinx, I'm fine, thank you.
I'm fine, thank you.
Wonderful, that's great. And tell me how everything's going. I haven't seen you for a few days. Is your work okay? Is your family okay?
Yeah, everything is okay. Same
Everything
old,
is okay. Same old, same old. All right. Well, that's good, I suppose, that everybody's okay. Have you seen the Hunger Games, Ali?
No.
You haven't seen them. Have you heard of them? Do you know what they are?
No.
No idea. All right. Well, in that case, stay tuned, and I'll get one of the other students to explain it to you. Okay?
Okay.
All right. There may be plenty of other students who don't know what it is either. So we will see. All right. So guys, if you could please make sure that your microphones are just muted when you come into class, and then if you need to talk to me, you can unmute them. But otherwise, it's hard to get a nice clear sound for all of the rest of the students. Johnny, hello.
Hello. How are you?
How are you?
Fine. I'm fine.
Good, Johnny. You sound a little bit distant. Is there any way you could speak a bit closer to the microphone?
Let me try. Is
That's better? Yeah, much better.
Okay.
Thank you. So tell me something. Have you got any news?
Say again, please.
Do you have any news?
Oh, no. I think so. Nothing happened right now.
Nothing happened. You're just the same as Ali.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, that's fine. I'm glad that life's just ticking along nicely. Johnny, have you seen the Hunger Games?
Hunting game, you said?
The Hunger Games movie, or have you read the book?
Yeah, no, I didn't read the book, but I had the opportunity to see the movie, the old one, the first time they came out.
Yep, the first installment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was years ago, but I don't remember clearly.
Can't remember it clearly. Do you remember
Yeah.
anything about it at all?
It's about. I think so. It's about the like people in on the civilization in the earth is a two kind the class of people, the rich people and the people is the middle class that is working and poor and
Yep.
uh, yeah, and one girl, uh, she volunteered to for take the place of her little sister, and she gonna become the heroine,
Yes.
hero.
Heroine.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mhm. All right, that's great. That's a really good start. Thank you for that, Johnny. And Ra has pasted up the link to the IMDb website, which tells you about the Hunger Games, if you want to have a look at it. But we're just gonna have a bit of speaking practice actually. So, I'm gonna get you to explain it anyway. But if you do want to look that up, thank you for doing that, Ra. So I'll say hello to you now. How are you? Are you there?
Um, yes, my
Hello.
microphone was muted. Sorry.
No
Yeah, I'm
problem.
fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good. Now, I think I have met you before, but we haven't seen each other for a long time. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
I
well,
think
it's
for
lovely to see you again.
thank you.
Are you a movie fan?
No, I'm not a movie fan. No, and I don't know the movie also from Hungry Games. I've never heard of it.
You've never heard of it. Where are you
No,
from,
no.
Ra?
I'm from the Netherlands.
Okay. um, you might be
We
in
are
the wrong
very
age
in the
group.
Netherlands. We are very isolated from the rest of the world. So
Yes, I was just checking you're not from the moon. That's okay. Um, no, I'm only teasing. It's absolutely
yeah.
fine. I'm really useless with some stuff too. But I think this in where I am at the moment in New Zealand. Certain movies
But it's also not on. Hello?
not much about the actual movie today. We're going to be reading about the set, which is in a beautiful part of the USA. So there's nothing to worry about. If you have no idea what the Hunger Games is, never fear. You can click on the link that Ra has shared. Thank you, Ra. Welcome to the class.
Thank you.
All right, Paul, how are you?
Okay, hello. I'm fine, thanks. Everything's all right,
Excellent.
as always.
As always. Well, I like to hear that. It's better than everything being bad.
Oh yes, yes. Everything's all right every time with me.
Is that because of your
Okay.
positive attitude towards life, Paul?
Maybe because I'm really careful
Mm-hmm.
and I don't get reckless and get in trouble. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's good. You can join the ranks of the non-reckless who are attending this class.
Yes, definitely. I am in those.
All
Like,
right.
belong to this class of people. Okay,
Excellent.
and what about the Hunger Games franchise? Actually, I've seen the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't like it much because for a number of reasons. The first one is I've read all the three of the books.
Yep.
Yes, I read the first one in Russian and the two remaining in English, in original. And the language is quite hard to understand in comparison to with other authors.
Mm-hmm.
Even though this book is like for teenagers,
Yeah.
obviously it's a chick flick, films and books, and I didn't like it much because the boy, who I believe is called Pete, was constantly mistreated, in my opinion.
This is
Eventually,
hilarious. Keep going, Paul.
yes. Eventually, in the very end of the third book, they married.
Yeah.
But throughout the story, it's like he was a scapegoat all throughout. Okay, and he got all the beatings.
He did. You're right.
Okay, yes. Okay, so
All right. That was. What
here's
was
my
the other reason?
um so in the first movie he was like punched because he said that he loves Katniss, but he really did, and it wasn't like a trick in order to get publicity for them to in order to for audience to pay for them or send him them gifts or other things during the games, and so it was a true story. But I didn't believe in it because it sounds outlandish. I think it's really
All right.
just a fantasy story
Yeah.
for the like teenagers or maybe just romantic girls.
Romantic girls.
Yes, yes.
Excellent. All right. That gives you another little insight. Thank you. Welcome to the class. I always appreciate hearing your very interesting opinion.
Okay, I'd like to express myself, so you know.
Well, you're doing very well. All right. Let's ask Veronica what she thinks. Veronica, you need to stand up for the girls now. No, I'm only kidding. How are you? Welcome.
I'm fine, thanks.
All right. Do you know anything about the Hunger Games?
Yes, I know quite much. I've read all the books
Yeah.
and watched a movie, so I know pretty much everything about it.
Excellent. Are you a fan, or would you say that you didn't really enjoy it? What would you say?
I enjoyed it. It was kind of magic for me. It has something that really, I don't know, it grabs your attention and makes you interested. And it's like Harry Potter. Everybody read it and everybody enjoy it.
All right. Yeah, I know what you mean by that. It's got wide popularity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you just give us a really rough outline of the story? So just a couple of the characters. We've heard a little bit, but since you know quite a bit about it, just to help those students who have never heard of it or read it or know nothing, it will help when we're doing a reading article. So just like a really brief summary, if you can.
Okay, so there is very strange world, and it's divided into some kind of parts, and there is the biggest part, like this capital city, and it's called Capital, so it's pretty similar, and others are very poor, and they have to work a lot, and then every year. There is some kind of, it is like Olympic Games, but only children take part in it, and there is only one winner, and all the rest dies, and they kill each other. There is some kind of, nobody knows who will go next year, and there is a little girl which has to go there, and instead of her, her sister volunteers, and she is the main character. Her name is Katniss, and she is on this Olympic Games with Pita, her a boy who used to save her life because he gave her some bread, and they are two winners. This is what is unusual about this story, that they decide not to kill each other at the end, and all the country, all this this capital is very angry with them, and some kind of war starts, and that's what its second and third part about.
Thank you, Veronica. That was a beautiful summary because it makes it much clearer, and we've got a better idea now when we read our article. Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm going to say also hello to Valentina.
Hi.
Hello, welcome. Have I met you before, Valentina?
Sorry?
Have we met before? You and I? Is this your first time in my class, or have you been here
Yeah.
before?
Yes. No. In your class, this is my first time. But in
Ah,
Verbling, it's not. This is not my first time. Yes.
yeah, just in my class. So hello, nice to meet you.
Hi. Nice to meet you too.
Where are you from, Valentina?
I'm from Italy.
All right, well, welcome. Are you following? Do you understand anything about the Hunger Games? Have you seen it or heard about it before?
Yes. I know that it's a book written by Susan Collins,
Mm-hmm.
but I know the author, but
Yeah.
I never read that book in reality.
All right. Well, there you go.
Uh,
So we're all a little bit
but the
acquainted.
the subject is interesting.
All right. I think the subject is when I first heard of it, I was kind of appalled by the fact that children kill each other. But there are some parts of the story that are kind of, I suppose, I don't know. It is, as Paul was saying, kind of a lot to do with like women's rights almost. Like there's a female heroine, which is quite unusual. Anyway, what we're going to do, guys, is read about where the Hunger Games was filmed in the northern part of the USA to practice our reading, and we'll pause as we go through and just chat about it because I think there are other very famous films and TV series that people like to visit the sets of and where they were filmed on location. I think it's kind of an interesting topic. I just want to say a quick hi to Alexander, who's just arrived. Hello, Alexander.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great, wonderful. We have been talking about the Hunger Games because we're about to read something which is all about the real life location where it was filmed. Have you ever seen the films or read the books?
No, I've never read the books, but I've seen.
The films?
I've watched. Yeah.
One of the films. All right, awesome. Well,
No,
at least
I've watched all of these.
all of them. I think. Actually, I think how many films are there? Are there 3 so far?
3 by now. 3.
Did
There
it
was
finish
3.
at
There
the
were
end of the
3.
3rd one? No, I think there might be
Yeah.
one more coming out.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't actually finished the series, the kind of trilogy, although they've split the last film into 4 parts, which is quite typical. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. If you would like to access it yourself, you can just click on that link there, and we'll take it in turns to read a part each. So just take your time, do your best with pronunciation. We'll stop after each little part and just talk about it for a bit. So you can see there a photo of what we're about to read a little bit more about, and then we're going to get started. So I'm going to ask Veronica to get going for us, please, with the title and the little first line.
Exploring the bleak, real-world set of the Hunger Games. The first installment of the blockbuster film series was shot in North Carolina, including around a ghostly, abandoned mill town.
Thank you very much. And Veronica, I'll get you to read the first paragraph as well.
Okay. In a clearing surrounded by autumn-tinged, I don't know.
Tinged.
Or tinged trees, a row of near identical clipboard houses stood before me. Their military alignment and similarity were the only organized aspect about them. Their wood had weathered to a gloomy grey, enormous holes gaped in cement-black foundations. Many had shattered windows. All were abandoned.
Great, thank you very much. So let's just practice this one again. This is autumn tinged.
Autumn tinged.
Yeah, and this one is gaped.
Gaped, okay.
Thank you very much, Veronica. All right,
You're
so
welcome.
we've got a little introduction. Any questions about the vocab, guys?
The black.
Black.
No,
This
or
one
bleak.
here, this is bleak.
Bleak.
Ah, bleak,
Okay.
sorry.
No problem. Does anyone know what bleak means?
Okay, yes, probably no. It means that the colors of the something are not intense, like not
Yes.
strong.
That's
Ah,
yep,
okay.
absolutely. So
Pale colors.
pale colours, yes, it's a
Colours.
little bit more than pale colours. It's also to do with the feeling of a place. What kind of feeling is a bleak place?
Okay, it seems to be depressing, I think. Yes?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like a depressing, lonely, kind of cold type place, okay?
Okay.
I'm not sure if you guys can. I'm going to type into the Google chat today. The Verbling chat seems to be stuck again. So just keep your eye on the Google chat for any notes, guys. Thank you very much for that word. Any other words?
Okay, what are clapboard houses? I've never
Well,
heard about clapboard.
they are those, actually, Paul.
Okay, I can see, but what is the definition
Of
of them?
clapboard. I suppose
Yes.
clapboard is basically just, if you have a look at those houses, it's the way of building something. So that the boards that the houses are made of, you can't really see there, but it's sort of wooden slats or boards, and they're overlapped as they go down. So one overlaps the other, so that the rain sort of doesn't go inside; it pours off them. It's just a style of building, really.
Okay.
So that's what they look like, and then it's a layer upon layer of wooden sort of boards or slats.
Okay, yes, they look creepy.
Yeah, they do actually. All right, any other words in here? Did somebody say something then? No? Okay, wonderful. So, we know where we are. Where are we? Whereabouts in the world are we in this article? No, maybe Ali's not there. Are you there, Ali?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, but I couldn't before. Do you know where this place is that we are?
It's a kind of remote place, maybe.
Yes.
And maybe near a forest or something like that.
Exactly. Which country are we in?
California?
So California is one of the states, yes, of the
Yeah,
USA. You're right. It's not California though, because California is all about
North Carolina, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, North Carolina, exactly. In the USA. Has anyone ever been there?
No.
No? All right, just checking to see if we had any experts in here, but obviously not. I haven't either. So we're going to scroll down and carry on reading with Valentina. Could you take this paragraph, please?
Yeah, yes, of course. Gingerly, gingerly, stepping up to one for a closer peek, had been warned that the structures were even less stable than they looked, and that while respectful visitors were tolerated, going inside was forbidden. I saw what must once have been a living room, a couch sagged against a wall of peeling paint. The fireplace, its chimney clambering, still had logs inside. The only sound was the teeny ping of metal on a dirt path just outside. A solitary man was splitting rock.
Thank you. Very well read, Valentina. So this one here again is gingerly.
What does it mean? Gingerly.
We'll talk about it in just a sec because there's one other word I just want you to go over. This one is couch, not coach, okay?
Couch, okay.
Yeah, because a coach is like a bus. All right, does anybody know what gingerly means?
Okay, I don't know exactly, but I think it's something about boldly.
You think
Like
it's
carefully?
Yes, it's actually the opposite of boldly, Paul.
Okay.
Veronica, well done. It's more like cautiously or carefully.
Okay. Okay, good. Well done.
Absolutely. Anyone else want to ask any words?
Okay, I don't know the word sagged. What does it mean?
To sag. Okay, I'm trying to find it. There we go. Couch sag. Does anyone know what the verb to sag means?
Like ruin or
Not exactly.
It's like making a cure because the weight is holding.
Okay, yes, that's quite close. If something sags, it means it sort of hangs down. It droops or bends down or sinks. Usually something very old that's lost its elastic will sag because it's not able to spring back up into place anymore. So maybe like a mattress would sag, or I don't know, very old clothes, something like that, okay? So in this case, the couch is sagging because it's very old and there's no springs left in it, possibly. Any other questions?
Yes, what does splitting rock mean?
Splitting rock. Okay, so obviously we know what rock is, I think. What is to split?
Like a breaking.
Yes, exactly. To split something is like to break it in half, usually. Or to break. Yep, so if I say, okay, let's split this banana between us, it means I'll break it in half and give you half and I'll eat half. Okay? So the man is breaking the rock into different pieces. I don't know why, but anyway. Any other questions?
Yes. Sorry, but I think the article is missing there. Am I right?
Sorry?
Between splitting rock. I think it should be splitting a rock. Am I right?
No, not in this case, because rock is one of those annoying nouns that can be both. It can have an article, or it can be uncountable. In this case, it just means in general he's splitting some rock. Okay, if you say a rock, then it will be one particular rock. But if you just say rock, it might be an area of rock. It's a bit like the word cake. You can have cake, or you can have a cake. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Good question. All right, any others? Yeah.
What is a ping? Tiny ping of metal.
Tinny, not tiny, but tinny.
Oh,
ping.
okay.
All right, a ping. Does anyone know what ping is?
like a voice or sound?
Yes,
Ping.
exactly. Yep. A ping is like a little noise. That maybe you could describe like your phone when you receive a text message. It might go ding ding, and that's a ping. Okay. It's like a metallic sounding noise. And then why it says tinny is for the same reason. Tinny means something like metallic.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Ra, it's your turn to read. Could you take these two little pieces, please?
Yes. I had found District 12 location 60 miles northwest of Charlotte, North Carolina. Readers and movie gurus worldwide know District 12 as the home of Katniss Everdeen, the gorgeous arrow-flying heroine of the Hunger Games, the brutal annual event in which children fight to the death in an arena. The third installment of the film series, which is based on the books by Susan Collins, opened in much of the world last November.
Thank you, Ra. Lovely reading. Let's go through just a few words. This one is pronounced Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Yeah, and it's like a girl's name as well as a town, apparently. This one here is courageous.
Courageous.
Brilliant.
What does
And
it
the
mean?
last one. Okay, we'll come back to that in a sec. We'll ask that in a moment. And this one here is moviegoers. Moviegoers.
Moviegoers.
Yes. Well done, that's much better. Okay, what does courageous mean? Anybody know?
Okay, yes. As I said earlier, it is like to be bold and not to fear anything.
Yeah.
Just to be brave.
Yeah.
Brave, yes.
Okay, I think maybe it's brave is probably the closest synonym that we have. So bold, brave. I think fearless, probably not, because I think if you're courageous, you have to be frightened but overcome it. If we're going to go into it that deeply. Any other? What's a moviegoer?
So it's simple, yes. People who go to the movies.
Yep.
Often.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? No? Alright, that was really lovely. Thank you, Ra. Paul, your turn to read from When Scouts.
Okay. When Scouts looked for locations for the film's first installment in 2012, they picked this place, Henry River Mill Village. The abandoned early 20th century mill town provided the perfect setting for Katniss' poor home district, and the location was faithful to the book's description. District 12 was in a region known as Appalachia, Collins wrote in the first novel. Even hundreds of years ago, they might call here.
Great, thank you. When you have an apostrophe at the end of a word with an S.
Katniss says. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have said Katniss says, yes.
Katnisses, yeah, exactly. So you don't write the extra S because for some reason you can, but usually you don't. But yeah, when you read it out, you got to add on another syllable. So if there was another word like Thomas, you'd say Thomas's. Thank you, Paul. Okay, anyone have any questions about the vocab in this paragraph? No, quite easy. Excellent. All right, we'll read a tiny bit more before we stop and talk. So, Johnny, remarkably.
Okay. Remarkably few scenes were shot in a studio or using CGI, and most of the movies featured North Carolina location, a decision that earned the film nearly $14 million in tax credit. It seems like the ripping where tributes are selected to go fight in the games, were shot in the town of Shelby, 20 miles west of Charlotte. The Charlotte Convention Center was used for the event of Katniss's chariot ride when her dress lights on fire. The watershed of the town of Asheville, at the edge of the Blue Ridge Mountain, provided the first shot of the arena when the tributes stand on podiums.
Well done. Thank you very much, Johnny. Okay, so let's just do two words in here that came up a couple of times. This one is scenes with a long E.
The scenes.
Yes, well done. That's better. This one is tributes.
Tributes.
Good. Much better. Okay, are there any words in here? There's a couple of words that are kind of very particular to the book in this part here. Does anyone want to ask anything?
What does CGI means?
That is a good question. As I was reading that, I was trying to figure out what that stands for. Does anybody know what it stands for? No? Oh, there we go. I've just looked it up. It stands for computer-generated imagery, but we generally just say CGI. So what it's talking about, Ra, is like when you don't have an actual actor, you just make something up using your computer. For weird things that happen in movies that we can't film because they're not real, or I believe that also. Sorry.
You mean the special effects and the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So it's a particular kind of special effect, the computer generated kind. I think sometimes they use actors and then they kind of change it with the computer. I'm not sure if that counts as computer generated or not. But there's certainly some in this film, although not a lot, according to this paragraph. Good question. Anyone else?
Reaping?
Ah, the reaping. This is one of those words that's a bit specific to the book, but in general in English, what does reap mean?
To cut the crop.
Exactly.
Definitely.
To cut a crop, okay, or to harvest something. And can anyone explain what this is talking about in the actual book?
Okay, I can try. So the scene, the reaping, is the moment in the book when all these children actually are not elected, but are chosen to go to the Hunger Games by lottery. Obviously.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you, Paul. So it's sort of like in English, the word reap. It doesn't have a very nice connotation. We call that, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Grim Reaper. So it's a bit of a play on words. The Grim Reaper is that guy who has a big scythe thing and goes around in a black cloak and supposedly visits you just before you die. So it gives you like the idea that the kids are being harvested for their death, which is really nasty. I don't know about what this is translated to in your languages. It might be quite interesting to hear about that. But in English, that's what it kind of has the connotation of. Anyone have any other questions? No? All right, perfect. In that case, Ali, your turn to read the next two.
Okay. Of the many film locations, though, Henry River Mill Village is one of the most evocative, particularly in autumn. That's how the Scouts first saw the village. It was November, and the falling leaves and spare trees made the ghost town feel even more desolate. When they returned the next spring to shoot, the area looked nothing short of lush. So in came the movie magic. The crew laid down a tarp to brown the grass, while one person was tasked with picking leaves off the trees that would appear in close-ups.
Thank you, Ali. Great reading. Just one word. This one is desolate. Desolate.
Desolate.
Yes. All right. Questions? No questions?
Yes, I've got some. Please tell us, what does evocative mean?
Good question. Anyone know? No? Do you guys know the word evoke? Have you heard of that verb?
Like a remember?
Yes, it's sort of like that, exactly. So evocative means that it makes you remember something, makes you feel or imagine or think about something, okay? So it encourages you to have thoughts or emotions, basically.
Okay, thanks very much. I got it. And another word, a top. Top.
A top. A tarp.
Okay, yeah,
A tarp.
yes, this one. Yes.
What is a tarp? It's short for something. Do you guys know what it's short for?
I think tarpaulin, maybe.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Get it.
Anyone else?
What is slash?
Lush. Oh, that's a lovely word. Does anyone know what lush means?
It means like very colorful and bright in colors, and just like the wood in summer, in spring, full of life.
Yeah, nice. Anyone want to add anything to that? No? I'd say that's along the right lines, Paul. Also, it's maybe not so much to do with colour as sort of health. It gives the idea that something's very healthy, vibrant, attractive, something like that, full of life, and we often use it to talk about nature. Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else? No? Alright, we're just going to pause for a second. I would just like somebody to tell me, so far, what do we know about this place? So you can scroll back through the paragraphs if you want to come up with anything. But what have we found out by reading this up till now?
Okay, so basically it's a collection of old crippled houses in the middle of nowhere in America.
Yeah.
But the scenery is appropriate for this particular movie. Because it's a bit depressing as the movie is, and there are trees, houses, some grass, rocks maybe, so it's suitable for the movie. And I believe that to shoot the film in the USA was much cheaper than, say, to shoot the Lord of the Rings in New Zealand.
Okay, good. How do you know that, Paul?
Because the Lord of the Rings is a much more epic, and
yeah, sure. But what I was asking
a lot of territory is involved in the Lord of the Rings, but in this movie, I think the area where the movie was shot, and not so big. It's not so big. It's quite enclosed.
Okay, good point. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
Not so much scenery going on in this movie. It's just the local scenes with fights and runnings. Yes.
Brilliant. All right, thank you. Let me ask Johnny, who hasn't talked for a while. Johnny, what did we find out in the last couple of paragraphs that Ali read for us about the changes in seasons in this place? What did the team have to do when the seasons changed?
Let me see. In the paragraph, it say of many films, and that.
Yes, that one and the one below.
Okay. Okay. I think so. The scouts and this they find out the proper place in this village because they want to project in the movie that some places like scared, like poor, and in the season that they choose, Arun was proper for the film in that moment.
Okay, yeah. So it's actually kind of amazing how they've managed to find a location in the exact area that the book was officially set in that looked so fitting. But there's something they say about the difference between autumn and spring, Johnny. Did you see that?
Yeah, say again, please.
Yes, in those two paragraphs, it mentions that something changed between autumn and spring. So the crew had to do some things to adjust the location. What did they have to do?
Okay. Uh, in the second paragraph, said the actor or the crew they had to put on the air on the floor uh, like artificial grass, no?
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's not exactly artificial grass. What they did was they laid down a tarpaulin, which is like a big sheet of material to
It's
so
like
that
a
the grass
plastic.
died. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. And so the grass turned brown. And
Hmm.
what else did they do?
Um, and while another person was picking the lips that they found in the floor.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
so he wasn't picking them off the floor, he was picking them off the tree. He was making the
Oh,
trees have less leaves so they looked less healthy.
oh, okay.
All right, well done. Okay, let's talk to Valentina for a moment. Valentina, do you think is there any movie that you've seen in your life that you would like to visit the set of?
No, no, unfortunately. But
Fortunately,
I'd
'cause
like,
you're saving yourself money.
yes, I'd like to visit a set of a film, of a movie. Yes,
You would like to do it, but you
yes, I
don't have
like
a
it.
particular film? Are there any films you've seen that you
Ah, okay.
thought that they
Yeah,
have
yes,
a particular? Yeah.
yes, I'd like to visit the set of American films, for example, of American movies.
Uh-huh.
Mm, for example, Mission Impossible.
Yeah, good choice.
Yes, yes, it would be very interesting.
What
Yes, because
particularly? Hmm.
because it's a movie of action.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is it what particularly interests you about going to visit the Hollywood movie sets? Is there anything in particular, Valentina?
Of the film, of
Yeah.
the film. For example, when Tom Cruise mm, goes to the mountains.
Hmm. Awesome.
Yes,
All
I'd
right.
like to. Yes,
Yeah.
I'd like to visit that place when Tom Cruise climbs the mountains. The mountains are. It's a very high mountain.
Sure.
I don't know the name.
No, I don't either, unfortunately. But um, I think it's interesting sometimes how movies. I don't know. I'm going to ask you guys. Let's see what Veronica thinks. Veronica, do you like watching movies to see different places, or do you mostly like the plot or other parts like the actors?
It depends on movie. When the movie is good, I focus on the plot and that's what is important. Of course, it's much better when the scenery is beautiful and interesting, but the main part is the plot. But if the movie is boring, then I focus more on the surroundings.
Do any movies spring to mind for you, Veronica?
um, there is a movie, I'm not sure if I'm translating it well because I know just the Polish title,
Yeah.
but there is a movie, Eat, Pray, and Love.
Yes,
It's
that's right.
based on, yeah, it's based on a book, and the book
Yeah.
is quite boring. I've read it. And the movie is a little bit better, but still quite boring. But surroundings are beautiful, so that's one of the movies I enjoyed because of the scenery.
I could not agree more, Veronica. I've seen the movie and I haven't read the book, but I don't care to read the book. But yes, I agree with you. It was quite a boring movie, but something saved it. I think maybe Julia Roberts, because she's a good actress, and also the scenery. Yeah. All right, awesome. Let's see what Ali has to say. Ali, what kind of movies do you like? Do you watch movies for the scenery ever?
Yeah, I like different kind of movie. It's not important if the plot is good. I like to watch movie.
Okay. And are there any movies that you can think of that you were very impressed by the scenery or by the location?
I remember Braveheart.
Braveheart. All right.
Yeah, yeah. It
Tell
was.
us about Braveheart.
Yeah, it's about Scottish people. They were fighting for freedom from the United Kingdom. It was a historical movie,
Yep.
and what was the name? Mel Gibson was
Mel Gibson, yeah.
yeah, the main actor.
Yep.
And he was playing very well his role. I remember a lot of good scenes in the movie. Nature,
awesome.
yeah.
That's an interesting choice, Ali. I wouldn't have thought that that's one that would sort of necessarily be very memorable for its scenery. But then again, maybe that's just because it's sort of like the scenery I grew up with, possibly. I don't know. Would anyone else like to share a movie that they thought the scenery or the location was particularly evocative, or I don't know, spectacular, possibly?
Okay, yes, and I agree with Ellie that the Highlands of Scotland are impressive, and I have thoughts about the Highlander, the movies, and the TV series as well. So all that castles, ancient castles, mountains, lakes, and local people of Scotland is really impressive. And okay, another thought about the scenery and its importance in movies. And there's one great movie called Forrest Gump. I think you all have seen it, definitely. And there are a lot of place shifts going on in this movie as Forrest travels from one place to another. And I think that those changes are really add up to the charm of the movie. Because in the book, the author didn't explain all those things, so he didn't write about the scenery much. But in the movie, there's a lot of beautiful places in Vietnam, in the USA, and the sea and the land. It's really great. It adds up to the whole mix of this movie. So it's great in comparison with the book, which is a bit plain in terms of deep emotions.
That's an interesting point, Paul, because I think most people, if you have to compare a book and a film, would say usually that the film doesn't really live up to the book. However, I think from this point of view, when you're talking about scenery and visual impact, obviously, then the movie's going to be maybe better. So, would any of you ever consider going on a trip somewhere solely to visit the location of a movie or a TV series that you like? You big enough fans of anything?
No, I don't want to do that because it's kind of really maybe sort of inappropriate because what's the point of visiting the place only because of it was shown in the movie? Maybe
Well,
there are lots of places which are more beautiful than that. But maybe it's a good idea if you particularly like something. Why not?
for sure.
There's
It's kind of
lots of options. Why not choose that one?
Well, good point. If you have lots of money and why not, you know? Um, Talking of Lord of the Rings that you mentioned before, there are actually a lot of tourists who, it's sort of in the past a little bit now, some people still come, who spend a holiday going around New Zealand visiting all of the Lord of the Rings locations, which strikes me as a little unusual. Some of them are really random because it was shot all over the country, so it's a very expensive trip to make, but there are people who do it, so there you go. So before we go, let's just go through, and I just want to ask you guys, what's your favourite movie? Or if you can't decide on a favourite, one of the movies you really, really like. Let's ask Veronica first.
I think it's constantly changing because it depends on my mood and everything. But for now, I think that I love Inception, for example.
Oh, me too. Good choice, Veronica. Awesome movie. Awesome actor.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's great.
Yeah, it's very good. Valentina, what about you?
In general,
Yeah, what's your favorite movie? Do you have a favorite movie?
eh, not a favorite movie, but I like many movies in
Mhm.
reality.
So you
But in
can't make a
particular, I
decision.
like, yes, I like comic, action, fantasy,
Okay.
romantic movies.
Yeah. All right. So
I
you can't make a particular decision about one.
I'd like to go the movie 50 Shades of Grey.
Have you
Yes,
seen
because
it?
yes, I read all the books.
Mhm. I don't know if that has that actually come out yet, that movie? Has that been released? Do you guys know? I haven't.
Yes,
It has?
yes.
Okay.
It's even in the internet. You can
Is
watch
it?
it at
Oh, well,
home.
there you go. Practice your English and learn some other things. Thank you, Valentina. All right, Paul, what about you?
Okay, so I've mentioned already that I really like Forrest Gump, and this is one of the greatest movies in history, in film history, eventually. And the book is not so impressive. I didn't finish it, but I'm reading it now. And I started reading it in order to get the full picture about the story, but it's difficult to read because it's written in a sort of like Forrest did it himself with lots of mistakes, in grammatical and spelling mistakes, so it's difficult. Also, I think Titanic is really good.
Titanic?
Really,
Yep.
Titanic, yes,
Mhm.
really well shot film, very
Yep.
clever, and acting is great, and it's really like emotional. It just makes me cry, nearly,
Thank
not
you, Paul.
literally, but it's really touching. Okay, I like Tom Hanks movies. Um, um, Not all of them, but many of them, like Saving Private Ryan, which is really good,
Yeah.
or also really good, like moving story, a little bit um, sort of unrealistic, but nevertheless. Okay, so here we
All
go.
right.
A couple
Thank you.
of films which I like.
Excellent. All right. Johnny, how about you? What's your favorite film?
Um, I can say about that is more like gender or gender. It's like all movies is based on true story. That's what I love.
Okay, based on true stories. A genre, you
Yes,
mean? A
uh,
genre.
yes, genre.
I know what you mean, Johnny. I agree with you there. I think it has more impact if you know that this actually happened, or at least some of it actually happened. All right, thank you. And Ali, you've written Silence of the Lambs. Is that your favorite?
Maybe I can't say my favorite. I watch different kind of movies, but it was good. The series Silence
Yeah.
of the Lambs.
Oh, it's too scary for me.
Yeah, but I like this kind of psychological movie.
Yep, suspense.
Yeah, and what was the name? Conspiracy Theory, like Mel Gibson and Julia Roberts.
Sorry, I missed the title, Ali. What was it?
Conspiracy Theory, or
I don't recognize it. Maybe you could type it. But anyway, it's good to share because some of us might want to go and have a look at some of these movies that we haven't seen. So thank you all for reading. We have to finish off now, otherwise we're going to be late. But take care, everybody. I hope to see you again soon. Have a great night. If you conspiracy theory, Ali.
yeah.
All right, thank
Yeah,
you.
it was a good film.
Yes. If you have got nothing else to do, go and watch a movie in English, and you can practice for the rest of the evening. Otherwise, just have a good night. I'll see you all soon. See you later.
Yes, and practice
Bye.
for the rest of
Thank
your
you.
life. Okay, thanks.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
So, hello, Ali.
Hello, Amy. How are you?
How are you? Jinx, I'm fine, thank you.
I'm fine, thank you.
Wonderful, that's great. And tell me how everything's going. I haven't seen you for a few days. Is your work okay? Is your family okay?
Yeah, everything is okay. Same
Everything
old,
is okay. Same old, same old. All right. Well, that's good, I suppose, that everybody's okay. Have you seen the Hunger Games, Ali?
No.
You haven't
I
seen them.
haven't.
Have you heard of them? Do you know what they are?
No.
No idea. All right. Well, in that case, stay tuned, and I'll get one of the other students to explain it to you. Okay?
Okay.
All right. There may be plenty of other students who don't know what it is either. So we will see. All right. So guys, if you could please make sure that your microphones are just muted when you come into class, and then if you need to talk to me, you can unmute them. But otherwise, it's hard to get a nice clear sound for all of the rest of the students. Johnny, hello.
Hello. How are you?
How are you?
Fine. I'm fine.
Good, Johnny. You sound a little bit distant. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Verbaling class. My name is Teacher Amy, and today's class is part of my series called Around the World in 80 Days. Today, we're going to be looking at the place where the Hunger Games was filmed in North America. So, if you're a fan of the Hunger Games, you might want to follow along. I do believe that all the slots are booked, but you never know. There may be a student who doesn't turn up, and then you can come in and join us. So, if you'd like to practice your reading, have a chat to us about the Hunger Games, and also the kind of general topic of tourists visiting places where films are set. Are you one of the types of person who likes to watch a movie and then go and visit where it was filmed? Or do you think that it's a waste of time and money? So do come along in and join us. I'll let you know about a couple of things that could help you with your experience here on Verbling. You might want to check out these two pages that I am pasting into the chat box. The first is my Verbling Teacher Facebook page, and the second is my Verbling Teacher page. So if you go to the first link, you'll find probably what you expect for when you go to a Facebook page. Is there any way you could speak a bit closer to the microphone?
Let me try. Is
That's
better?
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
Thank you. So tell me something. Have you got any news?
Say again, please.
Do you have any news?
Oh, no. I think so. Nothing happened right now.
Nothing happened. You're just the same as Ali.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well that's fine. I'm glad that life is ticking along nicely. Johnny, have you seen the Hunger Games?
Uh, Hunting game, you said?
The Hunger Games movie, or have you
Oh,
read the book?
yeah. No, I didn't read the book, but I had the opportunity to see the movie, the old one, the first time they came out.
Yep, the first installment.
Yes. That,
Okay,
yeah, that was years ago, but I don't remember clearly.
can't remember it clearly. Do you remember
Yeah.
anything about it at all?
It's about, I think so, it's about the like people in on the civilization in the earth is
It's a good idea, maybe if you like Facebook, to follow a few of the teachers, and then you'll receive their news updates in your feed, and you can keep on track with your studies as you go through your week. Especially if you check Facebook a lot, maybe you'll be reminded to study your English. And the other page that might be useful to you is the Verbling teacher page. So if you access the Verbling teacher page, you can find out lots of information about teachers that you may not know. If you go there, you will see several important things. One of them is the calendar, so you can see when upcoming classes are, and you can book a private tutoring session. So if you're interested in a one-on-one tutoring session with any of the teachers, go to their teacher page and check out when they're free, and you can book straight from there. You can also find out more about the teacher, who they are, where they're from, what they do, how much experience they've had, and what kind of things they specialize in. And also watch some videos from that teacher. And the final thing that's quite useful is the fact that you can send a message to any of us from the Verbling teacher page if you have any further questions, or if you want to get in touch with us for any reason, then do please check that out. So, let's say hello and see who we've got to talk about the Hunger Games today. I think Annie was here first.
So two kind, the class of people, the rich people and the people is the middle class that is working and poor and
Yep.
uh, yeah, and one girl, she volunteered to for take the place of her little sister, and she gonna become the heroine,
Yes.
hero.
Heroine.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right, that's great. That's a really good start. Thank you for that, Johnny. And Ra has pasted up the link to the IMDb website, which tells you about the Hunger Games, if you want to have a look at it. But we're just gonna have a bit of speaking practice actually, so I'm gonna get you to explain it anyway. But if you do want to look that up, thank you for doing that, Ra. So I'll say hello to you now. How are you? Are you there?
Yes, my
Hello.
microphone was muted. Sorry.
No
Yeah, I'm
problem.
fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good. Now, I think I have met you before, but we haven't seen each other for a long time. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
I
well,
think
it's
for
lovely to see you again.
thank you.